There's an apparent paradox with a lot of spiritual growth and a lot of self-development, and that's the idea that inherently the quest to improve ourselves or to grow spiritually can, on the surface at least, appear like a selfish act. In this video, I want to play with this idea that through the awakening process, through the process of inner discovery, we actually connect more to others. The theory that I'd like to play with is a philosophical theory called Solipsism. Now, this is a theory that is essentially aligned to the idea that the only reality we can truly know is the reality of our own minds. Like, as I sit here and I look out the window and I look at the camera and I talk, I don't know for sure that everything that is apparently outside of me actually exists. It's this kind of thing, you know, I think, therefore I exist, but what proof do I really have that you, watching this now, passers-by on the street, people that I see every day, are living, breathing beings, you know, with the same desires, the same wants, the same needs, inner processes, dreams, fears, all this kind of stuff. Now, I think inherently and naturally we kind of know that our experience certainly isn't that unique, but there is something interesting with Solipsism, and it's this idea that reality is very much subjective, right? The reality we perceive is our truth. The difference between Solipsism, which is kind of a bit cynical, it's fairly self-centered, the difference between this and oneness, or a spiritual awakening, is that we move beyond a sense of a separate I, but we still experience the truth of subjective reality. And what I mean by this is, as we go deeper and deeper into the realm of thought, as we emerge and as we experience oneness, we move beyond the sense of separation, the ego self. So we open up to this eternal divine spark within, and this is an eternal divine spark that exists within everyone. It's beyond the realm of thought, it's beyond the realm of concept, but it's something that we can experience, the connection to everything, to existence itself. So the difference between Solipsism as the idea that me, as a vessel of consciousness, I am the only thing that exists, is that really what we're looking at with spiritual practice is the interconnected nature of all things, the macro and the micro. You know, us being individuals who are microcosms of a cosmic consciousness. So there's a link between the two, but the distinction that I'll make in this brief video is that really when we move deeper into ourselves, we move beyond the isolation, the kind of encased idea of ourselves as individual separate entities, but realize that below these base level or superficial self-images, there lies a network of connection. So it's really the fundamental difference between feeling like I am the center of the universe, and the realization that you are the universe itself, you know? So rather than an ego identity becoming the center of this theme, direct experience, the universal consciousness and the access to that is what allows us to access the deeper realms of being and the connected realms of being. This is a brief video. It was one that came to mind. I hope that it's kind of useful. It's something fun to play around with. I like this idea that really the deeper we go into ourselves, the less selfish we become. This also links to Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you know, this triangle, that the more we self-actualize and become our spiritual selves and fulfill our potential, the more we transcend, the more we think of others, the greater our empathy and altruism. Play around with this idea, play around with the idea, and as you go about your day, think, when you interact with people, what would change if I realized that this was my reality and that's the only reality there is, right? This is my reality. Every person I interact with, they're a part of my reality, they're a part of me. And Solipsism and oneness share this connection, right? They share the idea that really we're mirroring each other, that there is no separation. Think of a dream. For example, when we dream, we understand this is a reality created by our minds, and that all the characters in this dream are part of our unconscious or subconscious or imagination. If we apply this to waking reality, we begin to notice that actually this is a lot closer aligned to waking reality than we realize. It's not to say that you watching this video, my parents, my friends, that people I see on TV, that they don't exist. It's just to acknowledge that we fundamentally are the same, that we fundamentally are connected by systems that are a lot deeper and richer and more immersive than the superficial sense of separation that exists. Right, I hope this has been a slight nugget of useful information for you. I'll be back soon. I'll be back very soon with my next video, but take care and look after yourself.